Hi listeners, it's Kat here from Aghast. I just wanted to take a quick minute outside of the show to let you know about empowerment coaching. I know this is probably confusing a lot of people right now. Outside of telling you about true crime, I work as a life coach, helping others achieve their goals, break down barriers, eliminate limiting beliefs, or anything else a person may need guidance to achieve their most authentic life. The world has been upside down since 2020, and I know a lot of us may be lost, confused, or unsure as to what we want and how to get there. If you think speaking with a life coach may help you, please feel free to contact me at alteregowellness@outlook.com or at alteregowell on Instagram. Okay, now back to our show.
Hello, gentlefolk. How's it going? Oh boy, we got an interesting one for you today. Tell me, what do you think when you hear this list of items? Today we got Woody Harrelson, Juliette Lewis, Tom Sizemore, and a bunch of unoriginal psychotic assholes. The logical person would say, shit, that sounds like Sony is making a Carnage spin-off. Thank God. As far as I know, that's not happening. No. Today we're talking about natural-born killers and the copycat crimes and murders that were based off that movie. Get ready for carnage, murder, and a bunch of idiots shaving their heads bald and wearing sunglasses. This one's a little bit depressing, so I recommend an adult drink. I'm John. And I'm Kat, because she's in the washroom at the moment. And this is Aghast.
Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. A cyber attack is on its way. Our internet is down, and the complex we live in is having a meltdown. This is a hot button issue right now.
Yeah. I don't think it's the Russians, though. I don't think... My bet is...
maybe the Trudeau government.
Yeah, maybe our fearless leader, Trudeau Castro. Maybe he's behind all this, you know.
I'm just warning everyone, I am working off of the notes on my phone. So I will try and make it as flawless as I usually do, but...
It only becomes flawless after I edit all your ums and ahs and loud swallows out and farts.
I do not fart. You're the farter.
I can't even breathe into this microphone. Like, it's attached to this microphone.
Oh, okay, very funny. I think it's time for a disclaimer now. The smell
folks.
that you're smelling is your breath, by the way.
Literally, this microphone is like a dirty clit.
You're disgusting. Okay, give us our disclaimer. It's hot.
I just like get close and I just want to lick the dirty clit.
It's hot in this room because we can't have the fan on. It's too loud.
All right, folks. We do true crime in a very light fashion. And we try and make jokes when we can, and we insult the criminals as often as we can. If you don't like that sort of thing, if you like shit that's more serious and treats criminals with respect, you're a fucking imbecile, and fuck off. Don't wet willy me. Don't you fucking wet willy me when I'm trying to give a disclaimer. All right, for the rest of you, grab yourself some grain alcohol, put your phones away because they won't work, and let's get into this. I'll tell you when to take the shots.
That was sultry.
I know.
And let's get into this.
Let's get on with the goddamn show.
Okay. In 1994, Oliver Stone introduced the world to Mickey Knox and his wife Mallory, a couple that would have made Bonnie and Clyde tremble with fear. Played by Woody Harrelson and Juliette Lewis, Natural Born Killers tells the story of Mickey and Mallory and their twisted, crime-filled romance. Though a great film, this movie may have been taken a bit too seriously by some.
I don't know how people could take this movie seriously. Like, it is like a fever dream.
Yeah, it is.
It's not realistic.
Yeah. as the film has been accused of sparking copycat crimes. In fact, it's one of the most copycat crime films out there. Today, we'll be discussing those crimes.
Well, this should be interesting. I'm surprised that this one is the one that's copied the most.
It's one of the most.
I wonder how far Clockwork Orange is up there.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll make this a series.
No, we won't. All our series are one videos.
We're mini-series. Natural Born Killers was released on August 26, 1994, and not too long after the release, the crimes began.
Bum, bum, bum.
In October of 94, Nathan Martinez, a 17-year-old from Bluffdale, Utah, shot his stepmother and 10-year-old half-sister while they were sleeping.
Oh, what the fuck?
A nationwide manhunt ensued, and he was arrested 3 days after the murders. Nathan Martinez admitted that he was obsessed with the movie Natural Born Killers and watched it over 10 times in the days leading up to his crimes.
I just don't fucking get that.
I know.
And like only 10 times. Right? Like I've watched like porn
over
videos.
10 times.
So 11 times. Like fuck off.
I know.
Man, I remember being a kid watching
Here
YTV
we go.
and watching Dragon Ball Z and getting so excited. Oh, they're just starting the Cell saga, and then it goes right back to the beginning of the Frieza saga, and you just plow through it again and again, and that was like, you know, grade 5 to like grade 12.
I didn't know they put Dragon Ball on YTV.
Yeah, it was on YTV.
Okay, anyway.
But like, I clearly watched that more than 10 times.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking running around in the streets trying to shoot Kamehamehas at people. Like,
well, sometimes you do.
Sometimes. When you're really being pouty, I want to hit you with a Gallic gun.
So, yes, he watched it over 10 times in the days leading up to his crimes, and he went as far as shaving his head to mimic Mickey Knox and even wore the same style sunglasses. I can just picture this little shitty 17-year-old thinking he looked so cool when he probably looked like a penis with sunglasses on.
Teenagers altogether look like douchebags. They always look like douchebags. That's why they put 30-year-olds in movies to play. Because actual teenagers look like cunts.
Yeah.
They look like fucking fools with their gangly arms. Even if they're like working out, even if they're riddled with hormones and they're like fully developed, they still look weird.
Yeah. He was charged with 2 counts of capital murder and pleaded guilty to avoid the death penalty. He was sentenced to 2 concurrent terms of life in prison with the possibility of parole. He was released after 23 years in May of 2018. The parole board noted his squeaky clean prison record, not having one violation or failed drug test. That's just
fucking
Let's
stupid.
just hope they banned him from like streaming services and video stores. They don't have video stores anymore, but like, if he ever tries to check out Natural Born Killers, like, some alarm should go off.
Like, seriously, this fucking moron watched a movie and went berserk.
Yeah.
And killed his family.
He killed
don't release
his
him.
Stepmother and half-sister.
This guy's gonna, like, he's out now, so he's gonna go and fucking try and catch up on everything he's missed. He's gonna go watch, like, The Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
And, like, grab a lightsaber and fucking kill people. He's gonna watch Lord of the Rings 2002.
Okay,
and
let's
he's
get back
gonna
on
go
track.
run around with a bow and fucking shoot people thinking he's Legolas.
Let's go back on track.
I can't.
In Sonoa, Georgia, on March 5th, 1995, 15-year-old Jason Lewis murdered his parents by gunshot, wanting to emulate Mickey and Mallory. He spoke to a friend on the phone prior to the murders, saying he wanted to kill his mom and dad and then head out for the road. He suddenly said, quote, "I'm gonna do it." He put the phone down, grabbed his dad's 12-gauge shotgun, and shot his mother while she was sitting in her recliner 3 times, the final shot being in her face.
Holy fuck.
He shot his father 4 times, the final shot to him being in the forehead. His friend could hear all of this happening. Jason then returned to the phone and said, quote, "I did it. It's done," end quote. Jason was one of 4 other boys who had all planned to kill their parents and go on a killing spree across the country. All 4 boys were arrested. When Jason was asked why he did this, he told investigators he was upset that his parents gave him a midnight curfew.
Holy fuck.
His friend told investigators it was horrifying listening to the screams and gunshots on the other end of the phone. Jason is currently serving life in prison.
No shit. Fuck. Like, you want to know.
Just for a midnight curfew. His father was a truck driver and put this curfew in, and then The rest is history.
Fuck, I wish I had a 12 o'clock curfew. How old was he?
15.
Fuck, when I was 15, I had no curfew because I wasn't allowed to fucking go out.
I didn't even have a midnight curfew by the time I was in my 20s.
Jesus.
Portuguese families.
Oh my God.
In Massachusetts,
I'll say it for you. In Massachusetts.
In June of 1995, two men, one 18 years old and the other 20, stabbed a 65-year-old physically handicapped man so violently that both men broke their wrists during the force of the attack. The victim was stabbed 27 times. When the ringleader of this attack bragged to his girlfriend, she was horrified and asked why, to which he said, quote, "Haven't you ever seen natural-born killers?" End quote. One of the murderers also told police, quote, "We know what we did was bad, but we didn't know this guy, so we weren't going to cry about it." End quote.
That's fucked.
I know. On January 3rd, 1997, 30-year-old James Halverson, a firefighter in New York, was running at a high school racetrack where he was shot point blank by William Saunders. William had recently bought a 9mm and saw James running. William bent down pretending to tie his shoes and then shot James when he approached. He also shot and killed James's dog.
What the fuck is this shit? Who the fuck are these people?
William's girlfriend later told his dad that she thinks William had something to do with the murder. His dad turned him in immediately after hearing that. His father had said that Natural Born Killers was his son's favorite movie and that he started acting differently, just like the character Mickey, since seeing the film. William Saunders was sentenced to 25 years to life for his crime. James Halverson's wife gave birth to their twins just weeks after her husband's murders.
I don't fucking get this. I watched Natural Born Killers, I'm pretty sure when I was in fucking grade 8.
Yeah, I was young. When I saw it. And it nowhere sparked me wanting... If anything, it horrified me. Like, it was scary. It was just like, these people are scary.
I didn't even like the film that much at the time. Mm-hmm. I would like to see it again and be like, okay, maybe I just didn't understand it when I was young.
I've seen it recently. Like, not recently, but in my 20s, and I enjoyed it.
But, like, I was in grade 2 watching Terminator 2.
So was I.
And at the time when I was watching Natural Born Killers, I was playing, like, Grand Theft Auto and fucking Duke Nukem. I've never had a fucking desire to kill people.
I know.
Like, I feel like these fucking kids were unhinged. And this might have been like a catalyst. Do you talk about, like, is there any like psychology reports or anything regarding this?
Why don't you just be patient?
I can't be patient.
On March 5th, 1995, 18-year-old Sarah Edmondson and her 18-year-old boyfriend Benjamin Darris were spending the night together alone in her family's cabin in Muskogee, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, you know.
The couple were watching Natural Born Killers. After 2 days at the cabin, they packed up Sarah's car with blankets and a .38 revolver to attend a Grateful Dead concert in Tennessee.
Well, that's what everyone does before a Grateful Dead concert.
I've heard.
It's a tradition.
However, they missed the concert by a week.
By a week.
By March 7th, they were in Hernando, Mississippi. It would be here that Benjamin would shoot and kill William Savage, a cotton mill manager. Benjamin shot William point blank twice in the head. After stealing William's wallet, Benjamin then took some of William's blood-stained fabric as a souvenir.
Oh, what a fucking weirdo. Fucking idiot.
I know. The couple then drove to Ponchatoula, Louisiana, where Sarah shot Patsy Byers, a cashier at the Time Saver convenience store the couple was at. Patsy Byers survived her attack, but the gunshot resulted in her being a quadriplegic.
Oh, fuck. That poor girl.
Sarah left the store, but then went back in to steal money. The store's security cameras were able to capture a still of Sarah Edmondson's face because of this, which police released to the media. On June 2nd, Sarah returned home around 11:30 p.m., where her father immediately turned her into the police.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just like, okay, trip's over. I'm going to go home now.
Yeah. Man, I'm glad to be home.
I know.
It's nothing like sleeping in your own bed.
They were gone for a while from March until June.
Jesus.
Benjamin Darris was also arrested. During interviews with Sarah, she told investigators that Benjamin was obsessed with the idea of creating his own Natural Born Killers. She claimed she was afraid of him and took the gun for her own protection. lies.
Well, that's horseshit.
Yeah. Sarah was charged with attempted second-degree murder, armed robbery, and illegal use of a firearm. She was sentenced to 30 years in prison, but was released on parole after 11 years in 2010. Benjamin was charged with murder and armed robbery. He was sentenced to 35 years in prison for the armed robbery and life in prison without parole for the murder of William Savage.
Good.
Patsy Byers did take legal action against Sarah Edmondson and Benjamin Darris, and then also included Oliver Stone and the Time Warner Company in her lawsuit as a, quote, product liability claim.
Oh, that's interesting.
Stating Oliver Stone and or the company should have known that the film would have inspired people to commit these kind of crimes.
Well, that's horseshit.
Yeah. On January 23rd of 97, her case was dismissed on the ground that filmmakers and production companies are protected by the First Amendment. She did appeal, and in May of 1998, the courts overturned the decision, saying she did have a valid case against the filmmakers. Sadly, Patsy Byers passed away of cancer, and on March 12, 2001, the case was finally dismissed on the grounds that there was no evidence that Time Warner or Oliver Stone had intended to incite violence.
Oh, for fuck's sakes, like, they've had violent films for decades
Yeah,
before Natural Born
cowboys
Killers.
and yeah.
Like, all the fucking war films.
Yeah.
Like, you would think under that fucking logic, oh, just showing a fucking war film, oh, that's going to create dictators.
Yeah. The Heath High School shooting and the Columbine shooting massacre are also considered to be inspired by Natural Born Killers. In Columbine, prior to the shooting, they had used NBK as their code and had journal entries referencing when they would go NBK on people. The Richardson family murders, which we covered on Aghast, are also linked because it was the film Jeremy Allen Steinke watched before murdering his girlfriend's parents. So this is actually a really big rabbit hole.
Yeah.
There is a handful of other cases that are linked to this, but I didn't find them relevant enough to cover into our story. These were the ones that seemed to have like clear enough connections that these kids were just immature and psychotic and watched this movie and thought, oh, that's gonna be me. And some of the other cases were just like, oh, he saw it 6 months ago in the theater and then went off on a killing spree. Or shot one person or something.
Yeah.
It wasn't a strong enough link where I thought it was worth covering as a copycat crime. And frankly, if we see any killing spree now, we're almost 30 years from that movie.
Yeah.
What, we could just say, oh, that's a Natural Born Killers crime.
Yeah.
No.
He saw it a rerun on TBS.
Yeah. Yeah. On dinner and a movie,
Yeah.
Friday night.
Jesus. I'm interested to know what is the opinion of Oliver Stone and Tarantino, who wrote the film. Mm-hmm. What are their opinions about it?
Yeah.
But, like, frankly, I would also like to know, since Tarantino created the story, how many copycat murders are there for his other movies that he's written? Like,
Kill Bill.
True Romance.
True Romance.
That's very, like, that's a guy and a girl going off. They're not killing people like the same way in Natural Born Killers, but they do kill people.
It's more of a defense thing than a...
And they, like, run drugs and shit.
I do fully...
Or, like, Pulp Fiction.
Well, I do fully intend on... There's quite a few, so I do intend on making this a regular thing for us to cover. So I will be covering other movies as well.
It's interesting, and, like, I wonder how many, like, vigilante movies inspire someone to be a vigilante.
I'm sure there are.
Like fucking Taxi Driver or Death Wish. Mm-hmm. How many people watch that shit and it's like, oh man, I'm gonna be like Travis Bickle and just fucking off pimps.
Or like Last House on the Left.
Yeah, exactly. You brought up Columbine. I didn't realize Natural Born Killers was tied to that. I remember from the movie, I remember people referencing Doom, like the video game Doom with...
and Marilyn Manson.
Like they're trying to like fucking... put it on so many different things. And it's all been proven, like, scientifically. There's no link to watching stuff, playing stuff, listening to stuff, and violent behavior.
But if you're a person with a chemical imbalance or something, they can be inspired by these things. But it's not the things themselves that are telling them to do these things. Yeah, I remember when that Columbine shooting happened and they were talking about Marilyn Manson and Doom, and they were talking about some other video game. I can't remember what it was.
Was it Mortal Kombat?
Anyways, I don't even know if Natural Born Killers is actually technically considered linking Columbine. I think it was just like another thing. It was that same period of time. You know, it was a very popular movie that came out at that time. So I think it's just something they reference because of the popularity of the movie. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a link as to what drove like a copycat crime.
Just the idea of copycat crimes is interesting. Mm-hmm. It's like not only are these people fucking psychotic, they're unoriginal. Yeah.
There is an old thriller movie from years ago, like 90s, called Copycat or something. I do recall learning that like shows like CSI or any show or film that shows people getting away with murder, committing murders, they purposely do things wrong in the film.
Yeah.
So other people don't intentionally copycat this. Because it may look flawless in the film or in the show. There are things in there that, like the whole, I'm going to use bleach to clean up and then they'll never see this blood.
Yeah.
The bleach does not hide the blood.
Yeah.
You know, so, and that's something we still see in movies to this day.
Like in Iron Man, they show him in the first one building that first Iron Man suit when he's in that, terrorist camp. And, it looks simple enough, but, truth be told, it's very difficult to build an Iron Man suit. And the same goes with, like, the serum that makes Captain America super strong and the one that makes Hulk. And, Mjolnir, it looks like just a hammer, and it seems like all you need to be is like, be worthy of it.
Oh, but we're not recording anymore. Just did that to shut you up.
It's very difficult, And also it should be mentioned, like it goes across like all kinds of mediums. Like you watch Dragon Ball and you see Flying Nimbus, and it's like, all right, I'm pure of heart. I can totally fly on a cloud, but it's actually very difficult to fly on a cloud. They don't explain it fully because they don't want people flying on clouds. You are
not pure of heart, so that is why you're not flying on clouds.
Whatever.
Sad day for us today. Do you know why?
Why?
We can't do a Dylan McDermott quote.
Oh no, we're doing Dylan. I'll pull it up the quotes. I'm with Belle on my work phone, so time to listen to the beautiful words, the timeless words of Dylan McDermott. I believe that Ryan Murphy is a genius. His instincts remind me of Andy Warhol. I recently went to the Warhol Museum in Pittsburgh, and you can see a lot of echoes of Andy and Ryan's work. Like Andy, Ryan's finger is so on the pulse of culture that he's ahead of culture. Their aesthetic and their vision of the world are very similar. Jesus, I didn't realize he was like an art historian. Like, is he a professor in fine arts?
You're so funny.
Fucking, how profound. Thank you, Dylan McDermott, for concluding this episode.
As always.
Good luck, folks. Have a lovely week.
You didn't call our shots.
We'll post it on the goddamn thing.
Okay.
Really, the standalone stuff is like drink for every fucking... Take a sip for all the years of life in prison.
So they're not drinking until the end.
And take a shot whenever injustice happens, like these fuckers getting out on parole. Take a sip every time we swear.
Take a sip every time John goes on a rant that interrupts the story. Take a sip for every...
That's why you hired me, you dink.
I hired you? I believe we...
Well, have a great week,
that's called marriage.
Well, have a great week, folks. And drink up. Drive safely.
Does that mean I can fire you too?
Bye, folks. Ta-ta.
Bye-bye. You can check us out on YouTube at Catam Concoction.
That's CATAM CONCOCTION.
And on Instagram at cast_aghast.
Remember, there's a silent H.
Oh my gosh.
All right, here we go. Hold on.
You having a stroke?
Yeah, a little bit.
William's girlfriend. Is it Williams's?
No, it's Williams.
Okay.
I saw Natural Born Killers when I was like, your stupid phone. How unprofessional.
I'm having to use it right now. Patsy Byers survived her attack, but the gunshot...
Oh, it's tough. Try again. Read from the top. I'll wait till you're done swallowing, you loud swallower, you fucking broccoli breath bastard.
I don't have broccoli breath. What was that?
That was a fart. Oh, come on, load it, you son of a bitch.
Oh.
Oh, if Bell goes out, this is... we're officially getting fucked. Come on. Think about it. You got it. I got 2 bars. Dylan McDermott. Dylan McDermott.